What is a paid ad specialist or PPC manager? How can you get into this career path? What does the career path look like? And how much can you potentially earn in this type of career? And what are some of the free resources out there to help you learn pay per click or paid ads, so on and so forth? So that's what I'm going to be answering in this video. That is what this video is all about. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Maury. Welcome to the Mopade Media YouTube channel, and you already know what we're going to be talking about. So, if you're ready to dive into one of the most lucrative, dopest, best paying gigs in digital marketing, then you want to stick around to watch this whole entire video, okay? Being a paid ad specialist, aka PPC manager, is all about making ads pop online and ranking in big results for businesses. Okay, so I'm going to break down this super easy. I'm going to be talking about what this job is, how much you can be expected to earn, and how to get started, and where can you find those free resources to help you get leveled up fast. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, guys. So if you haven't already, be sure that you subscribe to this channel because I talk all things about paid media, paid ads, paid search, paid social, all things about paid media for beginners to help you break into this very cool career path. Okay, something that I'm very passionate about. So if you find content like this interesting, feel free to subscribe. Also, check out my PPC career roadmap guide that will go more into detail about helping you actually break into this career path. And I'm going to be coming out with my own PPC career or PPC course that will help you out as well. So, let's first talk about what is a paid ads specialist or PPC manager. Okay, so these folks are the brains behind those ads that seem to know what you want. Okay, those ads that are scary accurate. Okay, so as a paid ads associate, specialist, strategist, your job is to mix creativity, data, and strategy to make businesses shine online. So here's kind of what you would be doing. I'm going to be breaking it down into about four pillars. So the first pillar is creative vibes. The second one is nerdy stuff, data nerdy stuff. The third pillar is about the big picture moves, and then the fourth pillar is about the platforms that we use. Okay, so with the creative vibes, you are going to be in charge of, or probably going to be writing ad copy that makes people want to click on that ad or on the link. You would be responsible for designing visuals that catch somebody's eyes. You would be responsible for cooking up offers like call to actions that hook people, and you would probably be responsible for building landing pages that turn clicks into customers. Now, before I go any further, I do want to let you know that there are plenty of roles where you're not going to be doing all of these. You're going to be doing like some of these, but I just want you to get an overview of some of the tasks that you will most likely be in charge of. Okay. So, pillar two, which is the data, the kind of nerdy stuff. So, and this is really what I do for my job as a PPC paid media specialist. Um, I dig into the numbers and see what's working. Also, you would be in charge of managing ad budgets. sometimes millions. Like the agency that I work with, I have a few clients. They bring in they spend a lot of money, like millions of dollars on ad spend, and they bring in millions of dollars in conversions. Okay. Also, you would be responsible for running A/B testing to make ads perform better, and you would be also responsible for tracking the return on investment, or ROI, to show that the money uh, to show the money's worth it, to show that these companies and businesses are putting their ad budget to good use. Now, the third pillar, which is kind of like the big picture moves. This is more so focused on research audiences and spying on competitors, um, building planning ad campaigns across platforms, and then setting up smart bidding strategies. Okay. Um, Another thing that you would be doing is scaling the winners and ditching the losers. Okay. Last but not least, the fourth pillar is about platforms, the type of platforms that we use. The biggest one that we use, and I've talked about it on this YouTube channel, is Google Ads. Google Ads is probably the top one that we use for paid ads, for search ads. So Google Ads is used for search ads, display, YouTube, and shopping ads. Okay. The next platform that is pretty popular is Facebook Meta Ads. So that is including Instagram, Facebook, and Messenger and WhatsApp. Microsoft advertising as well is something that a lot of advertisers use to run ads for Bing and Yahoo. And then for B2B, business to business, we use LinkedIn ads for B2B, business to business pros. We also utilize TikTok for a more fun, younger crowd. And then Amazon ads is used for e-commerce. Okay. So think of these platforms as digital marketing superheroes. So think of them as digital marketing superheroes that are blending art and science to drive crazy results. All right. So I want to talk about the difference kind of between a PPC specialist versus a PPC manager, and kind of help you understand the difference. So with PPC specialists, that's more so of an entry level to mid level. So you're getting hands-on experiences with campaigns. You will be building out campaigns and tweaking campaigns. You will also be utilizing keyword research and writing ads. You would also be checking the data, running reports every week, and making small fixes to the accounts and ads. And then you will be expected to handle smaller budgets or accounts. Okay. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I am managing about 4 accounts right now. They still have pretty big budgets. Okay. Next, we have PPC manager, which is more so like a mid to senior level. So you would be responsible for planning those big strategies, leading and training teams, and having chats with clients. You would be expected to manage bigger budgets, and you would be running larger, more complex accounts. So the specialists are like the builders, and then the managers are the masterminds calling the shots. All right. So now I want to get into the pay. How much are you expected to make as a PPC specialist? So I want to break this down kind of like on a game level, when you're first starting out, from level 1 to level 2 to level 3 to level 4. Okay? So when you're first starting out, guys, be expected to make and this is starting out from 0 to 2 years. Okay, so as a PPC specialist, you could be expected to make anywhere between 46K to 65K a year. For a junior PPC analyst, you can be expected to make anywhere between 40K to 55K a year. And then for the paid ads coordinator, you could be expected to make 38K to 50K a year. Now, moving on to level 2, which is the mid level, anywhere between 2 to 5 years. As a PPC specialist, you could be expected to make anywhere between 50K to 80K. PPC manager, expected to make 55K to 98K a year. And then for a paid media specialist, be expected to make anywhere between 60K to 85K. Now, the senior level, the third level, which is 5 years plus, that is all senior positions. So for a senior PPC specialist, you can be expected to make 70K to 100K. A senior PPC manager, you can be expected to make 85K to 120K. And then for a director of PPC, you can expect to make anywhere between 90K to 130K. Now, the fifth level, which is the boss mode, Bowser, you can be expected for a VP of marketing, you could be expected to make 125K to 213K. And then for a chief marketing officer, you can be expected to make 150K to 300K. Now, the big bonus is really after 10 years, you can hit a 150K to 200K, and freelancers can charge $100 to $200 plus per hour. So just something to keep in mind, the sky is really the limit. Okay, and I kind of want to go back to your career roadmap and how it will look like as you climb. So level 1, you're a newbie, right? So you could be, the average you're expected to make is 38K to 65K. So the type of jobs, again, you'll be doing PPC coordinator, digital marketing assistant, or junior PPC analyst. So you start by setting up campaigns, learning platforms, and digging into data. Now, when you move to level 2, you're getting good, so they're going to up your pay. You would get anywhere between 50K to 98K, and you will probably get a promotion or just get a pay raise. But there, the job titles are most likely going to be PPC specialist, paid media specialist, and then Google ad specialist. So you'll be responsible for running campaigns solo and mastering platforms. Now, level 3, you're most likely going to be leading the pack, aka doing trainings, mentoring newbies, and handling clients. So here you could be expected to make 70K to 130K. The type of job titles is senior. Okay, so senior meaning senior PPC specialist, PPC manager, paid media manager. Now, last but not least, level 4, we have the top dogs, the roof. All right, you could be expected to make anywhere between 90K to 300K plus. Okay, so these type of jobs, just think about director, head, VP, the people that have those big titles. So the director of PPC, the head of media, of paid media, VP of marketing. So you're going to start with this role, you're setting companies you're setting their wide strategies, or you're running your own show. Okay, you're the one calling the shots, you're the one that's making those important decisions. Okay, so now they do have some other paths. You can go the freelance route. You can be making anywhere between $75 to $200 per hour plus. You can start your own agency. You could focus on one company's ads, or you can also specialize in e-commerce, B2B, or a specific platform. Now, I want to talk about some must have skills that you gotta have. I'm going to be touching on the techie skills, the creative skills, the strategic skills, the soft skills. Okay. So, first, let's talk about the techie, geeky, nerdy must have skills that don't be intimidated. You can actually learn these skills. Okay. So, with the techie skills, you have to have some understanding about Google Ads. So, Google Ads, Facebook Ads, Microsoft advertising. You need to know Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, and Facebook Pixel. Okay. You need to understand and know the SEMrush, the RFs, as well as Google Keyword Planner for research. Now, here I recommend focusing on Google keywords because I was pretty good. I'm pretty good at knowing and understanding and utilizing the Keyword Research Planner. It's free to use, so I recommend getting very familiar with the Keyword Research Planner. Next techie skill that you have to have, you need to have some understanding of bidding strategies from manual to audio. Now, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to this channel because I actually made a few videos talking about bidding strategy. I've made a few videos talking about Google Ads and Facebook Ads. Okay, so very, very important. And I've even made a video talking about keyword research. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to subscribe. You also need to learn the basics of the HTML or CSS for landing pages. So understanding how to make a basic landing page is very important. And then you need to understand and know how to use Google Excel, Google Sheets, Microsoft Excel, because you're going to need that for data crunching. Okay, now let's move on to the creative skills. Creative skills is super important. Here, you're going to need to learn how to write killer ad copy that actually converts. You're going to need to learn how to design ads with Canva or Photoshop. I recommend using Canva. It's very user friendly. And then you're going to need to understand how to run A/B testing to find what clicks and what works. Okay. And then you need to get how people think to drive action. So you need to understand when to use call to action, how to write persuasive ad copy, or have some type of basic understanding. Now, before I go on to the last two skills, I do want to let you know that if I haven't already, depending on when you're watching this, I'm coming out with a PPC blueprint course. So I'm pretty much teaching all of this in the course, okay? And it's what I use in order to get a job in PPC. So very, very valuable. All right. Now, the next skill set you need to have is strategic skills. So you need to demonstrate and show that you're able to plan a full-on campaign, manage budgets, okay, spy on competitors to stay ahead, set up tracking to measure success, and analyze data to boost results. All right. And then the last skill set to have are soft skills. So you want to explain things in a non-techie way to non-techie people. A lot of your clients are not going to understand what the heck a click-through rate is and what the heck a call to action is. They're not going to understand that. So you have to have soft skills and break it down to them as if they are a fifth grader. not insulting anybody's intelligence, but you don't want to give them all that techie jargon because that they don't care about that. You're also going to need to be able to juggle multiple campaigns without stress, okay? And you're going to need to keep clients happy and stay chill when platforms change overnight. Meta, if you're somebody that's watching this and you are in paid ads, then you know what I'm talking about. Meta is a mofo. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about the free resources that you can actually start today, meaning the free courses that you can take, that you can get certified in, put in your resume, add to your website portfolio, and help you get interviews, which can lead to jobs. So you don't need to spend cash to get going. Here's the good stuff. So if you made it this far in the video and you haven't subscribed, you're a hater. I'm playing. But make sure you subscribe, y'all. Okay? But the first free course that you could take is the Google Skill Shop, okay? This worked wonders for me. I got a few certifications using the Google Skill Shop, and it is very necessary if you are wanting to get into paid ad specialist or PPC specialist, PPC manager, pay per click. Okay, so I'm going to be naming off a few certifications, and I will go ahead and leave them in the link down below, in the description down below. I'll leave the links. Number one, when it comes to Google Skill Shop, you are going to need to get the Google Ads search certification, which is a course that you can learn the search ads basics. Okay, the next one you want to get is the Google Ads display video shopping certifications that cover other types of ads. The next one that you want to get is the Google Analytics 4 certification, which helps you understand tracking and master tracking, because data is everything when it comes to digital marketing. The next one that you want to take is the Google Tag Manager. You're able to learn how to set up tracking like a pro. And why are these certifications dope? Because they're free, they're legit, and employers love it. They love it. Okay. Next, we have the Meta Blueprint. Facebook has free training. Now, the course is free, but if you want to take the certification test, that is $99 or $97. Last time I checked. Is it worth it? Yes, it is. Okay. And in the next part of this video, I'm going to be explaining why it's actually worth it. So, you want to take the Meta certification media buyer professional to really nail Facebook and Instagram ads and understand how it works, how to use it, this, that. You can also take the creative strategy professional to learn ad creative tricks and tips. And then they also have the Instagram advertising to get platform specific skills. And then they also include the Facebook Pixel to help you learn how to track and optimize like a boss. All right. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the Microsoft advertising training. The Microsoft advertising certified professional course that you can take is all about learning Bing ads. Okay. So it's great. It's free. It's great for B2B or the older audience. Now, they have some blogs that you can follow, like WordStream. WordStream is super good. They have Search Engine Land, PPC Heroes. They even have some good YouTube channels like Mopade Media YouTube channel. The one that you're watching right now is a pretty good channel to help you get started with pay-per-click. All right. So, bonus tip right here, pro tip, you want to start with Google Ads certification, and it's really the most important certification that employers want to see on your resume. Now, if you made it this far in the video, go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back, because this is a long video, and I understand a lot of the people's attention spans is not that long. So this is where the good stuff this is where we get even better with this type of information. I want to let you know that PPC has options. This career path has options, okay? You don't just have to be a PPC specialist or a PPC manager. They have a lot of cool specialization paths that you can take, okay? And I kind of broke this down into 3 main pillars. We have the platform vibe type of career path that you can take. You can take the industry vibe career path, or you can do the techie vibe, okay? So let me first talk about the platform vibe. When it comes to specialized path with the platforms, you can actually be a Google Ads specialist when you only specialize in Google Ads. Okay, that's all you specialize in. So you can do search, YouTube, shopping, ads, performance max, demand gen, which all of those are in very big demand. Okay. The next one is Facebook Meta Ad Specialist. So you know how I was talking about on the previous portion of the video about why getting a Meta certification is actually valuable. It's worth the $100 that you would spend if you round up. Well, it's worth it because you can actually become a Facebook Meta Ads specialist, where you're specialized in running social media ads, which you're making the ad creative, you're running the budgets, you're tweaking, you're analyzing, you're pulling the data, you're testing, all on Facebook and Meta, okay? And then the third one is LinkedIn Ad Specialist, which you would be handling the B2B, business to business ad campaigns. You would be creating high value for high value clients. Now, kind of like the second pillar, this is the second pillar, which is the industry vibe, which you could be an e-commerce. So you can specialize in e-commerce, doing shopping ads or product feeds on Amazon. All right. And then we also have the local businesses. You can just focus on getting local business clients that are based off of location-based ads. Okay. The third pillar that we have is PPC analyst, which you would be responsible for handling live data and reports and making sense out of it, making suggestions, optimizations, and improvements, and writing reports from the data and being able to make a story out of that data. All right, so let's quickly talk about how you can break into this career path. I'm going to be going over 5 steps, and I'm going to keep it really brief because, again, this video is already going over. If you want a more in-depth version of how to break into paid ads or paid media specialist, I'll make that, but for the sake of this video, it's going to be pretty short because you can see my microphone is starting to die. So step 1 is you want to get certified. You want to start with Google Ads search and analytics, get those 2 certifications. And then step 2, you want to get some type of hands-on experience so you can help a local business run free or cheap ads. You can also run campaigns for a side project or volunteer for a nonprofit. Step 3, you want to build a portfolio. So you need to show screenshots of campaigns, a campaign structure. You can share before and after case studies, and you also want to include ad copy or visuals that you made. Okay. So, a great way to do this is actually doing the sample campaign or Google Ads campaign. It's like a mock campaign that you can use on Google Sheets. I recommend doing that, and it's what I teach in my course. All right. You also, on your portfolio, you want to list all the certifications that you got as well. Step 4, you actually want to land a gig. So you want to check digital marketing agencies for job opportunities variety. You also want to look at e-commerce or SaaS companies. If you don't know what SaaS company is, it's a software or I think it's like a software as a service. Yeah. So you can look into that. You can also try freelance platforms to build experience, or you can apply for in-house marketing roles. Step 5 is you want to network. If you don't already have a LinkedIn, make sure that you make one. If you have one already, make sure that you have a professional looking headshot photo and you have at least 500 connections. And you just want to network with people, reach out to people, get advice, buy people coffee so that way you can pick their brains. Okay, you also want to hit up those virtual marketing events and you want to follow and chat with PPC pros. Again, you can add me on LinkedIn. I always leave my LinkedIn down below. Now, I also want to talk about why PPC is awesome. So, this field is clearly on fire. It's burning, it's hot. There is huge growth, meaning that digital ad spend is hitting an all-time high of $876 billion, and that's expected to be by 2026. There is job security because businesses need ads and PPC delivers fast. This is a very remote friendly, meaning that you can work anywhere that has Wi-Fi, and we do have this trend of AI, which brings new tools that make campaigns smarter, but not obsolete. All right, so there you have it. um, I would recommend going ahead and taking that advice that I gave you. Go ahead and get certified, sign up for the Google Skill Shop, and start with that ad certification first. And then you want to set up a practice Google Ads account. You can get free credits. You want to join PPC groups. I would recommend joining 2 PPC groups on LinkedIn. Um, yeah, so that's kind of how I would start. And really, PPC specialist has really grown over the years, and PPC specialists have really made a very lucrative career. So you're able to see instant results, you're able to tweak campaigns, you're able to boom sales, really help businesses grow. So companies need people who can spend their ad budget smartly, effectively, and who can help them bring in big money. Okay. So the job is a mixture of writing ads, designing visuals, and analytics from data optimization, and it's never a dull moment. Okay. Plus, you can work remotely, you can switch industries easily, and you can even start your own agency down the line. So, if you're ready to jump in, you can start learning today for free. Go ahead and start with Skillshop. And if you haven't already, be sure to check out my PPC career roadmap. I will go ahead and leave that in the description down below. And you can get on the waiting list to my PPC career blueprint, or yeah, PPC career blueprint, where I teach you all things about PPC that will help you land a job. With that being said, thank you for watching all the way to the end. I know this was a long one, but if you watch all the way to the end, go ahead and comment to the end below. That lets me know that you're serious. And with that being said, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.